Hunter x Hunter episode 142. Goto. I can't believe he fucking just died. He was such a good character. I mean, Togashi, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? You build up a character, I mean, I barely get to see this character, but I mean, I really like the character when he was first introduced, and then you kill him off like this. I mean, the biggest thing that kind of pisses me off is because I like both characters. I like Hisoka and I love Goto. I love both characters. And to see Goto get his neck fucking slit, like, off, like his head almost pops off because of Hisoka, it fucking pisses me off. But at the exact same time, I respect Togashi for being able to kill off a character. That is something I do respect. I respect Togashi for being able to kill off a character. But it pisses me off because Goto had so much more potential as a character. He could have had so much potential because we just found out about his nin ability of being able to, like, freaking shoot coins, and then he dies like this. It was pretty obvious who would win this fight. I mean, it was obvious from the get-go because, I mean, this is Hisoka. This is a character that was introduced before Goto, and Hisoka at the same exact time is, you know, someone that's probably going to be the final villain or the final fight of the series because he wants to kill Gom and kill and different things like that. And so, his character, it was obvious he would win, but it's upsetting to see how Goto had to die to this character. And honestly, I was praying or hoping that Goto was going to be able to escape or something like that, but it obviously didn't happen. It really made me sad. I was actually really depressed from that scene because, I mean, I thought of so much potential that character had just to be shut out like that. His lights just shut out. I was like, fuck, that's awful. It really is awful. But at the exact same time, it makes you respect Hisoka as a character. I mean, Hisoka, at this point in time, I mean, after you see this episode, most likely you'll probably be kind of pissed at what Hisoka did to Goto. But you have to think about this as a different standpoint. Hisoka's always been an evil character. He's always been conniving, mischievous. He's always been someone that works behind the background, behind the scenes, and stuff like that. And seeing him do something like this really makes him a better character overall. Even though I disagree with Goto's death, it was a good way to have progression with Hisoka's character because of what he usually does. And this also makes Togashi seem like he still knows how Hisoka is. He hasn't made a new leaf. Hisoka still wants to kill people, and it clearly shows in this episode. Now, besides that, the main point of this episode, besides the entire, like, first half with Goto's death, which is, yeah, let's get past that, there was a scene where we find out that Illumi is going to be versing the Hunters Association. For instance, the entire Hunters Association is going to be coming after Illumi now because of Illumi going against, like, civilians. He's, like, harming innocent civilians, making them harm beyond repair where they'll die, because he's making them into needlemen and putting, like, a needle in the back of their heads, and making them become, like, his servants, his followers, until they work themselves to death. So, pretty much with this episode, we find out more, I guess, you know, answers behind Illumi's power. I mean, we kind of knew what it was, but we get straight-out, full-out information and answers to Illumi's power. We find out exactly how it works, and at the exact same time, we find out that most likely from this movement, for instance, from Illumi attacking innocent civilians, it's going to cause the Hunter Association, for instance, just, you know, candidates like all 16 candidates, to change the Hunter exam, change the rules of how you become a Hunter, different things like that, because clearly, even in the beginning of the series, like the first arc, when we were in the Hunter exam, when I first started this series, I thought that those rules were rather fucking broken, because I mean, hunters can't hurt hunters, but hunters can get away with murder, because we clearly saw, like, examples of this in the Hunter exam. And so, clearly, from this, I'm glad that Illumi is doing this, because it's going to make change. It's going to change the overall Hunter Association's rules, probably the commandments and stuff like that, which will have positive change, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work, because, I mean, you have, you know, politicians right now. There's pretty much nothing but politicians. All these candidates are politicians. They're going to say what you want to hear and so forth. That's exactly what each individual politician will say in this, you know, candidate exchange, or whoever's going to become the next chairman. But the big thing is, will some of these candidates, like, for instance, the big dude at the end of this episode that was saying that he was wanting to change the Hunter exam, change, you know, the Hunter Association's commandments, will he do this? Will he actually change things, or is he just, you know, putting up a pretty picture and saying, like, oh, I say I'll change it, but I really won't. I want to make things worse. I mean, I wonder exactly if that's going to happen. Now, with this episode, it clearly brings to the table that now we really don't know who is going to be the winner of the candidate selection for the next chairman, because, like I said, this is going to be a big issue, because if it is confirmed, for instance, that they do find out Illumi is hurting civilians and using them as needlemen, this is going to change the entire outlook on this candidate selection. So we'll have to see what goes on there. Episode, for the most part, is fucking good. It's a really good episode. Music is good. Simone Sabone can transform into a fucking motorcycle. Holy shit. Just, yeah, that's freaking crazy. That's really crazy. Sabone, I think it's Sabone, transforms into a motorcycle and freaking can keep up with Godspeed fucking Killua on the road. So that is freaking ridiculous. I mean, what the hell? That is freaking fast. Episode was great. It was good. It had positive progression. I love the different things going on. The tension is rising. You can clearly see this different drama going in different sections of this episode. For instance, nobody really knows Goto is dead. I wonder exactly what will happen if Killua finds out that Goto is dead by Hisoka and Ilumi. I mean, clearly from this episode, Killua stated that he would have no problem, you know, turning his brother in. For instance, betraying his brother, turning him into the Hunter Association, stuff like that. He clearly stated that in this episode when he was on the phone call with Morel. So I wonder if, you know, he would go as far as to kill his own brother if he finds out his brother killed one of his close friends. So we'll have to see. Tell me your thoughts, honestly, about this episode, everybody. I mean, did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? It was fucking epic, and I should have a live reaction up very soon. It's probably not going to be a full episode live reaction, but it's going to have one of the best moments, like, you know, Goto and Hisoka and stuff like that. So, I'll see you all later. You have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.